Welcome to LifewithLiza podcast and welcome to today's episode. And in today's episode, I wanted to share a story with you. So let me take you on this journey. I remember standing in the middle of the room and my heart sank, and the voices that I was hearing around me were just fading out. My head started spinning and I felt so nervous and I felt like I'm about to freeze. I found myself in the middle of the room where everyone else was speaking Dutch and everyone else was a native Dutch speaker. And it was a part of my part-time job as a student where I applied to a job where you were supposed to speak Dutch fluently. That was the requirement. And obviously my Dutch was beginner to intermediate level. So at that moment in the room, the manager was given the instructions of what we were supposed to do on the day and as part of that hospitality event. And then he was looking directly at me and giving me the instructions, and I didn't understand a few words and I started panicking because his voice started fading out more and more and I could not remember or understand any further instructions, and I felt like such an imposter and that I'm about to get caught. So you might be asking, how did I end up in a situation like this? Why did I ever put myself in a situation like that? And you're not alone in asking that question, because I'm asking that question myself as well. Why on earth do I put myself in situations like that? And the answer is twofold. The first one, I was a student and that job paid better, so of course I wanted to get that job. But there is a second part to that answer, and it is that I love the challenge. And I love the challenge, and I wanted to be really clear here. I love the challenge in itself because it always skyrockets my growth exponentially. You just get 10x, 100x return once you challenge yourself and once you go out of your comfort zone. But it's definitely not like I'm loving the process. Because if we take us back to the situation where I'm standing in the middle of the room, when someone is talking to me in Dutch, when I'm supposed to understand Dutch, where it's the requirement for the job and I don't, it feels stressful, it feels scared, you feel scared and you just want to either slip through the floor or just escape and run away and to never be found. So that's the process. The process is not necessarily enjoyable, but I still do love the challenge. And what I realized was that based on putting myself in those challenging situations, I managed to learn Dutch, or basically get a fluent understanding of Dutch in a matter of days and weeks. I was already understanding Dutch fluently, whereas if I have not done that, it would have taken me years to get to some fluent understanding of Dutch, and maybe I would not be fluent even up to this day had I stayed in my comfort zone and comfortably was just learning Dutch through different books or watching movies. The comfort zone never helps us grow. It never pushes us to grow fast enough, whereas going outside of our comfort zone and doing those challenges actually pushes us so much that we get that exponential return on our time and on our investment. But also something fascinating happens in the meantime in the background. Not only have I done the challenge, learned Dutch, but also I changed as a person because I felt so much more confident in myself afterwards. And I feel like every time you accomplish a certain challenge or you do something hard, you just add a bit of proof, and it's undeniable proof because it's based in reality, that you are actually that person who can do that hard thing. And you start feeling so much more confident in yourself and taking on more and more challenges and chasing that feeling of building more and more evidence that you can actually do that you can actually achieve anything and you can do and accomplish those crazy challenges. And something that I wanted to encourage you to think about in this episode is, what is something that actually scares you a bit, but at the same time intrigues you, and in what way can you challenge yourself? Because sometimes we try to avoid things that would scare us because we think they're not meant for us. But at the same time, if it was not meant for you, you would feel indifferent. If it scares you a bit and there's excitement in it, it's probably meant for you, and it's probably that amazing next challenge that you can take on. So just give it a moment and think about what is something that excites you / scares you / you'll not be sure whether you can actually do it, and lean into that, try it out, and start building your stack of undeniable proof of who you are as a person and how much you can actually achieve. Because our potential is truly limitless, and I feel like the only way to actually realize all of the potential that we're actually given is by challenging ourselves. Because staying in that comfort zone, we will never tap into all of our potential that we've been given. So I hope this episode inspires you to also challenge yourself, to also do all of those crazy things, because firstly, you can, and you have proof that you can, and then you'll feel so much more confident and also build the life that you're truly deserving. Thank you for watching this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one.